need to make a quick review of the follow-up to Dangerous Calling by David Paul David Tripp. And I thought that the book was difficult with the narrator that he had to listen to going down the road at night. But it's thought-provoking, challenging, kind of, his style of book. He said that he wrote it in response to dealing with pastors who had fallen or gotten into some type of trouble. And he called the book Lead. And what he's advocating is that there's not just one leader in the church, but there should be a community of leaders, and that there should be communication and accountability and relationship inside the leadership in the church, so that somebody doesn't wander away from their calling or the truth. And seems like he's advocating plurality of elders without doing that. Seems like he's doing that recognizing that just the church doesn't have elders. They don't use the term elders. A lot of churches have deacons and or some other type of situation, but that we have to recognize that pastors are people too. And so at one point he uses the illustration of Jonah and said that if he wrote the book of Jonah, it'd be really short. God said, go to Nineveh. Jonah said no. And God either killed Jonah or just went to somebody else. And even when he talked about when Jonah gets thrown in the ocean, it's like, is that the end of the book? I told Crosby. And God prepared a shark and bit Jonah in half. But that rather God rehabilitated Jonah, and that pastors who get into trouble. Okay, so one pastor had gotten drunk. We don't know how often he was getting drunk, but in the story he gets found drunk, and that pastor gets rehabilitated. He doesn't get to stay where he's at. He ends up somewhere else. But that was one example, and that's what he's advocating, that we invest in these leaders who get into trouble. And he talks about how different ways the pastors get into trouble, and how it is just acceptable for us to have a milder form of gluttony in the church, and how a half a pound a month will add up to being severely overweight over a long period of time. It seems like he's trying to be gentle and dealing with issues, and so it takes some time to kind of chew on, to think about what he's saying and what he means. He has a lot of experience and issues that are really important. So really, really good book. Not a entertaining book, but a thought-provoking book.